Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Welcome to Sephora.
I'm looking for a perfume that's not too perfumey.
I got you.
Serum moisturizer or moisturizer serum.
Let's get into layering.
My concealer is making me look worse?
Sounds like the wrong shade. Let's get you matched.
There's only one store that really gets what you're going for. Get beauty from people who get beauty. Only at Sephora.
Hi, Let's get you a basket.
What is going on, everyone? Here, William Tinkup here today with the BARF. This is our look back at the week that was, so you could prepare for the week that is. Did I steal that from somebody, or is that actually probably no, yeah? But it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna go with 100%. it. I'm gonna go with it. So this has been this has been an interesting week, man. It's been it's been fun and long, and feels really long this week.
Awkward,
but yeah, awkward. What's you know I'm looking at you. So if you're watching, he's wearing, obviously, because you can see. If you're not watching, he's wearing a, what do you call that? Fuchsia? No, pink.
Oh, no, it's hot pink, baby.
Hot
it's Barbie pink.
California Barbie pink shirt from ISOP, which is a sponsor, by the way. So thank you all. However, I need a new shirt if you're listening. Because I put mine on. It looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I washed it and then I dried it.
No, you don't dry.
You
don't dry.
And now
it's a life lesson, right?
Yeah,
don't
well,
dry.
Now it's almost like I gained a bunch of weight.
You just gave it to one of your daughters.
Yeah, and they dig it too. They do. I'll take a picture and I'll they wear it. It's a nightgown for them, but
Yeah, 100%.
Anywho, we've got the BARF for the 23rd. Today's the 23rd.
That is
right?
correct.
Yeah,
correct. Sunday.
Yeah, it is Sunday the 23rd. So why don't you kick us off? Get us kicked off on the news, man. What do you got?
I will. So, BARF, for everyone that hasn't listened to before, breaking news, acquisitions, research, and funding. We're going to blow through it really fast, give you some fun stories to consume.
You're just assuming that people don't listen to us.
You know what? I'm hopeful and optimistic that people know, but if they don't,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So first story I want to pitch you is Inside the Revolt at the Wall Street Journal. This was at nationalreview.com, so you can go there and kind of look up the story. Basically, a new leader, a woman from the UK, wants the paper to be reader first and sustain the white, wealthy male base, but increase the online presence. Turns out the establishment within the Wall Street Journal hates her. So this is shocking, not shocking. By the way, I think she's making all the right moves because this is kind of what went on at the New York Times. Someone had to come in and go, yeah, you're doing it all wrong. Let's stop doing that. Mm-hmm. And it's happening at the Wall Street Journal, which is fantastic. But she is most hated because of the change and what it represents.
Oh well, good luck to her.
100%.
So all right. So Drink Pack. You ever hear of Drink Pack?
I have not heard of Drink Pack. What's that?
Me neither until I read the story. So Drink Pack sued the cloud-based payroll software company that we know as Paylocity. June 11th. So this is fairly new, alleging that it committed errors that led to it twice being sued for alleged wage and hour violations. So we've reported on so many of these employers just not paying people, miscalculating payroll, miscalculating overtime, miscalculating travel expenses, all of the above. So these guys are standing up and they're just saying, dude, this wasn't our fault. So what I took from this story is that company, and this is just as tricky because you purchase a software, you pay a lot of money for a software, it goes
Payroll
down.
software, yeah.
Well, yeah. It goes down, and that's what you rely on. And so when it goes down, what do you do, right? It's not like a house, you have an emergency generator. So
Did it go down? Like, was the system down, or was it just miscalculated?
no, there was an issue with the system. So
Outage.
there was an outage, yeah. So in 2021,
Interesting.
Paylocity failed to accurately program the employees' regular rate of pay for determining overtime.
Right.
So as well as meal premiums and all that type of stuff. So the question really is, who's at fault, right? So historically, the authorities, the enforcement authorities say that the employer is responsible for the ongoing management. So regardless of what happens,
it's a suit that follows another suit. So the government agency can't go after Paylocity. They have to go after the employer. That's
right.
Has to be that way. Now, what the employer will turn around and do is, again, in that case, whether or not it was an outage or whether or not it was a calculation error, then the company will sue Paylocity, or they'll work it out in some type of deal.
Some type of joint settlement of some sort, right. But we've reported on, and so I just, how many of these companies are just like, I guess we made a mistake, as opposed to, no, we really didn't make a mistake. It's actually the tech making the mistake. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Bob Pulver, host of Q Podcast. Human-centric AI, AI-driven transformation, hiring for skills and potential, dynamic workforce ecosystems, responsible innovation. These are some of the themes my expert guests and I chat about, and we certainly geek out on the details. Nothing too technical. I hope you check it out.
All right. So are you familiar with GLP-1 drugs?
No. Can't say that I am. Ozempic.
Ozempic?
There you go.
So there's a bunch of these, by the way. Not just Ozempic, but there's literally a ton of these types of things. Some of them treat just diabetes, some of them diabetes, and also it helps your heart. Sometimes it helps your kidney. Sometimes it also helps your weight loss. So first, it's diabetes. And so it has other things that help. And people are most familiar with Ozempic, I think. It is a rage. A lot of people are taking these types of shots, these types of drugs. Now, what this story that I want to pitch you on is employee coverage for diabetes/weight loss drugs, GLP-1, rises sharply. And will employers continue to fund these drugs? Now, I found a fantastic pulse survey on this on ifebp.org. It stands for International Federation and something Employee Benefits. But the thing, what is cool is it goes through and it tells all about the drugs and the rising cost in the drugs. So the rising cost is what keeping your eyes on. Okay, if the cost of the drug is rising, and your employee benefits, and you have pharmaceuticals, how much will the employer pay of that particular drug? Will it pay half? Will it pay all? That's just a part of kind of your insurance, your health insurance plan. So I also found, in conjunction to this, a great comparison article that explains all the GLP-1s, the benefits. And it also has a graphic that is fantastic for comparison. Like you can look at one graphic and see all the GLPs and then look at exactly what it does, how often you have to take it. It's shot once a week, once a day, blah, blah, blah. But what it got me to think about and why I wanted to bring it up to you is with obesity being such a thing in the United States, 120 million or at least obese, not grossly obese and all the other different derivatives of that, but at least overweight. Let's just say that. Make it simple for folks. GoodRx.com, if you go to GoodRx.com and you put in GLP-1 comparison, it will give you a fantastic graphic to actually see exactly what these things do. And so with knowing what you know now, Ryan, you were not learned on GLP-1s before this. Now you are. Mm-hmm. Will a company's stance on GLP-1s, will it help them retain or recruit talent?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I came to too.
Did you want more of an analysis?
No.
Yes, it will. Because, I mean, look, for obvious reasons, right? Like, I don't want to pay for something if you're going to pay for it.
Right.
People go to companies because they pay their internet bill, their phone bill, their car bill, right? This is just another extension of that. I don't know if I love the medications and all that. I don't know much about it. However, yes, I do think that will go. I mean, people go for pet insurance.
Lead with it. It's almost lead with it. If you're recruiting, put it in your job description. Put it in your your job ad, and just.
I noticed you need to lose a little bit of weight. Let me just tell you about this fantastic
100%. Benefit. Hey, you're fat and talented. We got you. We got you, baby.
Oh man! All right, I'm moving on because I loves me some co-pilots, and I always got to talk about a co-pilot. So EY is going to roll out for 100,000 workers the Microsoft Copilot, essentially making them their largest, obviously, customer. So then, there's a whole bunch of things, obvious things that it's going to do, right? But my stance on Copilots is that I want one every day of my life. I just think I can't wait until it is ready to be ready. PwC is doing this as well. They're using, obviously not Microsoft. They're going to go with OpenAI for the same thing. Yeah.
It helps them, helps them with their employees, helps their customers.
Customers, everything. And so I'm curious actually to really see where this goes because I joke about it a lot. And Copilot's going to be fantastic for all the obvious reasons at work. But I think as these things mature, that's when we're and as the co-pilots mature and the companies are upskilling their employees, because we know that's happening. And there's actually a survey. I don't know if I'm talking about it. I don't know if I have it and I can't remember. But more than 50% of employees are ready and willing to be upskilled in AI. They've already come to the conclusion that if I don't do this, I'm going away, right?
I like consulting firms making bets here. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. So anyway, I like it. Thought you would too.
All right, let me pitch you this story. Tech firms tightened staff security over China spying concerns. This was at payments, pymnts.com.
We getting rid of TikTok?
Hey, here's the deal. It sounds like a movie. But turns out business espionage is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to invest in identity verification products. So like ID Me and some of the ones that you and I have demoed. This is a really good time to make sure that person is really that person. But, it's, again, especially with more and more bets that these big tech firms make. This is just one of these things that they're going to have to be concerned about. They've been concerned. It's not like Google doesn't have a strategy or Meta or anything like that. They have a strategy for this. However, the fact that they're actually saying we're going to get tightened, we're going to get tighter about hiring people and making sure that they don't leave the office with our IP, etc. I found fascinating.
Yep. All right. Just because I can and I want to, I'm going to talk about another co-pilot, so I'm not going to waste too much time here. But Seipel launches co-pilot for staffing, recruiting, candidate engagement.
That's cool.
Nothing fascinating nor brand new, however, much needed. And obviously, this just goes from the recruiters into clients into the whole bit, right? Like all the way down the line. So we're talking things here like the obvious things, right? Summarizing candidate profiles, Boolean searches, personalized communication, all of that stuff. What I think often goes overlooked in the recruiter space, not HR or business or sales or any of that, but in specifically in recruiters, is the ability for AI generated answers
Yeah.
both to candidates and to the recruiters. So in HR, there's plenty of models out there now and platforms out there now where the HR leader or somebody, even legal, can go in and get a really propose a complex question and get a real complex answer. Break it down.
I'll take the opposite of that. Instead of logging into a system, hire all the people that are involved, whether or not it's the hiring manager, the recruiter, the candidate, etc. They can then ask the question, "Hey, where are we at with so and so?"
Right.
And so instead of going into a system and looking,
they just ask.
They just ask.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. I love that recruit is coming, and I know this has been around for recruiters, but I think, again, as these things mature, recruiters become significantly better and smarter at their jobs. So please don't be afraid, recruiters. We love you.
Hi there. I'm Peter Zollman. I'm a co-host of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast.
And I'm Stephen Rothberg, and I guess that makes me the other co-host.
Every other week, we're joined by guests from the world's leading job sites.
Together, we analyze news about general, niche, and aggregator job board and recruitment marketplaces sites.
Make sure you sign up and subscribe today.
All right, this story is nearly half of Dell's full-time workforce in the United States has rejected return to office. They'd rather work from home than get promoted. Let that sink in. So that's at fortune.com. So you go to Fortune and type in Dell employee work from home, and then you'll get all the bit. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think this sounds good, but there's going to be some buyer remorse here, and it's going to also increase pay equity gaps. And it's basically it's going to be something that we're going to have to solve for in the future. So it sounds like, oh yeah, hey, I want to work home. I don't care if I get promoted. Well,
until you don't get paid.
Until all these other people start flanking you, and they start getting promoted and you don't. You'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, what about me? Yeah. I'm doing the same job. I'm better than so and so. It's like, yeah. So I think it's kicking the can down the road. A lot of this is just like, you want to work from home. And you think that that's a trade-off for getting promoted. I think at one point you're going to regret that. Yeah,
I no doubt about it. I think it's going to be sooner than later. I think once a couple paychecks settle in, and I've got some stuff later I want to talk about, which is very similar to this. So we'll see some of my thoughts for that. Do you have Weiss Markets down there in Texas?
Nothing I know of.
No, okay. Well, if you do, you can now know that they are $75,000 poorer. Not that that's a major blow to the market, right?
That's not even a day of sales.
No, it's like an hour, maybe not even. So anyhow, they settled an EEOC lawsuit alleging that it failed to stop sexual harassment. So I want to read some of this because I want to get it right because we're talking about sexual harassment. So in Mifflintown, PA, and I should probably Google that because I have no clue where that is. But I wonder if that's near Dunder Mifflin.
I'm going to say it's northwestern, up by
Maybe.
Pittsburgh.
I've never been out that way. It's by Dunder Mifflin. Is that even real? So anyway, a supervisor at the Mifflintown, PA location created a sexually hostile work environment for an employee through inappropriate comments and unwanted physical contact. So
I'm just shocked that this shit still exists.
I mean,
crazy.
a lot of hornballs out there. A witnessing supervisor failed to report the conduct, and a general manager also failed to stop it upon being informed. Oof. Weiss Markets required this is the part I'm kind of confused on. So it's almost like they were trying to say, no, this really, really didn't happen. You're just, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. So Weiss Markets required the harassed employee to participate in counseling through an employee assistance program, even though management had no reason to believe she couldn't perform her job or was in danger to herself or others. Refusal to participate in this program led to management firing her.
That should
So
have been a much bigger settlement.
absolutely, it should have been number
horrible.
one. Two, this way, it's probably like a small town up in PA somewhere. I'd probably Google. It's probably like an hour from me, but I couldn't help but think these are like 3 or 4 men doing their thing
Yeah.
and trying to brainwash or convince this employee.
It's victim shaming.
Yeah, like it didn't happen. Like, no. We're very
That's not
concerned
what
for
we
your
meant.
health.
That's mansplaining. That's not what we meant when we said.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was kind of like I felt dirty reading it. It was weird, but I mean, hey, bad job, Weiss. You should be ashamed, and no bueno.
All right, here's a story. California fines Amazon $6 million for alleged violations of warehouse quota law at 2 warehouses. Okay, so this is at foxbusiness.com. You can go look at basically just Google Amazon $6 million. You'll figure it out. So California Labor Commissioner's Office has fined Amazon a total of basically $5.9 million for the allegations that the company violated the state law, the warehouse quota law enacted in 2022, by working warehouse employees so hard that their safety is put at risk. Now, this will be controversial-ish. Shit like this is how FOBO happens.
Yeah.
So Amazon's push for speed, it leads to high rates of injuries, intro robotics. Because robotics, they don't have to adhere to quota laws and shit like that. So, if you're Amazon, you'll take the $6 million bite. Okay, fine, got it. And at one point, you're going to say, you know what? If we invest all those funds into completely automating our entire warehouse process, which most of it is. I've been inside of a distribution center. A lot of it is. But if they do it even further, then they're just going to get out of these types of cases. So, it was enacted, like when you go into the warehouse quota law, it was enacted in good spirit. Like, let's not work people to death and create an unsafe environment. Fair. However, at one point, these big businesses are going to look at it and say, you know what?
Gotta make a decision.
Yeah, I think we'll just get rid of the humans.
Yeah. And probably get better service and less return rates and wrong products and
all kinds
injuries
of
and all that stuff. All right. So Borderless AI and Cohere team up to build a custom-trained AI model for HR professionals, taking on our friends over at Deal and Remote. So if you remember back in March timeframe, we talked about Borderless AI. They announced a $27 million seed round.
When your investors, customers, and workers demand more from your business, make it happen with SAP. The AI-powered capabilities of SAP can help you streamline costs, connect with new suppliers, and manage payroll, even when your business is being pulled in different directions. To deliver a quality product at a fair price while paying your people what they're worth too, so your business can stay unfazed. Learn more at sap.com/uncertainty.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan. $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Since then, Deal and Remote, they've made news for big funding rounds, acquisitions, et cetera. I think Deal had like 2 in 2 weeks. Now, Borderless AI is announcing that they are teaming up with Cohere to essentially build a proprietary HR knowledge base across all of Canada. So it's a co-pilot or a chatbot, that'll work all across Canada for best practices and employment law. So the use case here, it is, and it's obviously more complex than I'm talking how I'm presenting it here. But the use case here is that it's going to help with tasks requiring complex reasoning, and they go into what complex reasoning is. And critical thinking for their employees, obviously with domain knowledge and capabilities. Anyhow, the interesting part for me here is employment law and contracts as well. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of this across the globe. We've seen it a lot, and there's a lot of platforms out there that will do this for small business. And now I think it's becoming more accepted in enterprise, and that's where this is going to take place.
Even if it's just a bot where you're asking, is this legal? And it tells you, no, and it cites the case. Whether or not it actually writes contracts and do all that other stuff. I think there are legal AI startups
that'll handle that
do that stuff, but just understanding I think, employment law.
And I think the challenge is going to be, how do I trust that the AI is going to be correct, right? Without me fact checking and doing all of that. I believe, I just believe, like me personally, if my employer's saying, yes, we trust it, yes, this is good enough for our organization, well, then I'm going to trust it. And so I wonder at what level are errors going to be overlooked. But
I think it makes employment law accessible to everyone. So
absolutely,
I'm not thinking about trust or trusted verify or anything like that. I'm thinking about, if I'm a hiring manager, hell, just a manager of employees, can I do this? Is this legal?
Right.
Now I can ask something. It can give me the kind of the range of what is and isn't legal. In Canada, I don't have to know the law. I just have to be able to ask the question.
To be able to ask the question.
Give me the cite the cases or
well, I'm not that I'm waiting for, because I want to see it, but I kind of do want to. I want to see what happens when a company installs something like this. They implement something like this, and someone asks that question, and the AI comes back and says, "Yes, you're good," and then there's a $50 million lawsuit because they did something they shouldn't have. So I'd be curious to see how often that's going to happen. Oh, absolutely, it will.
Money time. It's acquisitions time, baby. It's A.
It is money time. Is this me? Am I going first?
Yes, indeed you are, Ryan.
All right, so I feel like I want to go do. That was really cheesy. Bullhorn acquires text kernel to accelerate its AI strategy. Yeah, man, text kernel's been around for a minute. They've been around, and it's almost like they've been forgotten in this. We're not to say obviously they're significant, but I think in the grand scheme they're just not talked about all the time because they're doing things behind the scenes. And curious to get your take on this one, because I think this is pretty significant for Bullhorn.
They've got over 2,000 customers. They're the thing that Text Kernel or Sovereign or Daxtra or any of those, they're the Intel inside. It's not a name that you're going to know. Even if you're an HR tech, you're not really going to know them. They're just baked into everybody's stuff, whether or not it's a CRM or an ATS or something like that. So Bullhorn taking them off the market, to me, it's an important acquisition. And even though they came up through resume parsing, like those other players, they've really gotten good at smart matching.
Matching insights.
Not just be able to parse like, yep, that's table stakes. So I wonder how it's going to impact the other historical parsing engines. That's what first of all, I think it's a great acquisition. So I'll just say that's a great one for Bullhorn to be able now to just kind of take it off the market. I mean, they'll probably still sell text kernel to people, but they're going to have it baked into their system.
Right.
And so that just, it's the rich get richer, right? Bullhorn owns 65% of the international staffing CRM market. Now this just gives them, they were party partners for a long time. And then they just said, you know what? Let's become more than partners.
Right. Yep.
Speaking of partners, Keystone Partners.
Keystone
has acquired the Ayers Group. It's a leader in executive coaching, leadership development, and outplacement services from Kelly Services. So Kelly Services spun out the Ayers Group. and had it as a standalone. I knew them mostly on the outplacement side. So I know that they did other things than that, but I knew them more on the outplacement side. So you can go there, KeystonePartners.com, and read more about the acquisition. But this is one of these acquisitions where both people win. It helps Keystone's ability to deliver career management, leadership transformation solutions, but it's a solid match of what they do. So they can sell to each other's customers. It's just solid. I love these acquisitions because it's a piece of a puzzle with another piece of a puzzle that perfectly fit. Might have a little overlap, but
a little bit,
but not that much.
But it
R.
works. Yeah. So, all right. I don't know if this is necessarily research.
I like starting out that way. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm going to deviate here. So Hannah Williams, who I don't know, but maybe we will know. Maybe we'll get her on the show. She's a Gen Z TikToker who became an outspoken advocate for pay transparency. So this is actually kind of interesting, which is why I wanted to bring it up. So she graduated from Georgetown in 2019. She picked up her first job at $90K a year. Not sure what it was in. But after working there for a little bit, this is just a little backstory so people know who she is. She found out that others were making $130K for the same role, doing the same job. Now, I don't know what their experience level was, if they were male or female. I'm assuming they were male versus female. But if they have 10 years, 5 years, I don't know what that is, okay? So that I don't know. But she quickly became outspoken around pay transparency and pay gap, and has since just become a full-time content creator. So she's actually built a pretty large following. She's got 1.5 million followers on TikTok. She's got 35 million likes or something like that, 870,000-ish Instagram followers. And so she's partnered up with Capital One, so she's making some money there, but all around the topic of pay transparency. And so I wanted to bring this up because she's actually making some inroads at organizations to have real intelligent conversations. It's not just swiping quick little videos. She's actually made some inroads there. But in 2022, this is what they quoted, women earned 82 cents for every dollar that men earn. I think that number
that's even broken down by race. So once you dig into the 82 cents, then you find that actually it's not 82 cents. Asian women make, African American women make.
Right. So
let's pick up the pace.
Yeah.
So you did note that it takes 169 years to close the gender pay gap by the World Economic Forum. I don't think we'll ever close it.
No.
I don't think it will ever be closed, especially with stories like Dell, where people are going to get promoted that are working in the office. How is that ever going to – that's going to worsen the gender pay equity gap, not make it better. Anyhow, let me pitch this story to you. Best and worst states for working dads in 2024 by Wallet Hub. That's wallethub.com. You can go look at the study. Ryan, happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
That was last Sunday. All right.
Yeah.
So Pennsylvania is ranked 18. Texas is ranked 37. New Mexico is ranked 51.
Pennsylvania is the 18th worst state or 18th best?
Yeah, it's well, it depends. 25 would be on the downslope, right? 1 to 25 or 1 to 24 would be on the upslope. So you're on the upslope. So you're on the good side. I am not on the good side. I'm on the 37 side. And New Mexico, dead last. So this is the best and worst states for working dads in 2024. Damn.
Show?
New Mexico.
Oh, man. All right. 1 in 5 employees would take a pay cut for a 4-day work week. I say F that. I am not taking a pay cut for a 4-day work week. I will work extra hours each day and take a 4-day work week, but I'm not taking less money for a 4-day work week.
So you'd increase the hours. So you'd work 12 hours.
Yeah, look, if you're working 8 hours, add up a little bit or change the job, or maybe we don't need to work 40 hours. I don't know. But I'm not going to take a pay cut. I'll just work the extra day.
Yeah,
look, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
They can't have less money.
They can't have less money. 34%, whatever that number is, don't even think they can retire because they don't have enough money to retire.
Right.
How are you going to say, look, we're going to let you work 4 days a week, but we're going to cut you 20%? No.
I mean, first of all, it's 1 in 5, so it is something to think about. But the fact that they would take a pay cut, just that 1 of 5 that would take a pay cut, that's insane.
Yeah.
You're going to do the work. You're going to cram the work in. You got to get at least paid, and in a perfect world, you'd get paid more to do it in 4 days.
I think you would get it. I think you would probably be more productive or have at least the same productivity in 4 days in less hours because you wouldn't BS the rest of the time. You get your stuff done.
Yeah, you're motivated.
Yeah,
All right.
So.
Ronstad's latest survey sheds light on the LGBTQIA plus community, workplace challenges, and path to inclusion. That's at Ronstad USA. You can go and take a look at their full report. And I'm not going to read all the statistics, but the one that actually threw me a little bit was 50% of the survey respondents commend their employee pride initiatives. Now, what that means is another 50% didn't. This is the colorization for Pride Month and stuff like that, of the rainbowization of logos and stuff like that. So whatever pride initiatives that a company has, 50% of the people think, yep, we're doing a good job. 50% of the people think, nope, hate it. So go read the study. I'm just quoting one stat. There's a bunch of really, really cool stats in it. RonstadUSA.com. Go take a look at it.
All right. I've got one more. I'll be quick on this one. Gartner.
Okay.
So not much here. Well, for me, there wasn't much here. 35% of HR teams are not. I'm sorry. 35% of HR teams are confident in their HR business current approach to HR tech.
I think 65% aren't.
Right.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot to be said there. They went on with how you can implement and how to incrementally implement technology and how to address AI concerns and all of that. But I mean, look, if only 35% are confident, there's probably more work that needs to be done. So
100%.
Check it out at Gartner.
You'd want to see that reversed.
Yeah.
You'd want to see it because the teams, you want them to be confident about what they're doing.
Yeah, nothing I tell you here is going to make you better at that. Go read the report. It's over at Gartner.
New Deloitte research reveals 80% of CEOs feel pressured by employees, customers, and boards to improve human sustainability.
Good. Do your job.
Deloitte.com and go read the research report. My fear is they're being pressured, but at the end of the day, they're going to pick profit over planet.
Yeah.
So that's the cynic in me is like, okay, I feel this pressure to do this. However, we got to make money. And I think that's going to be the eventual, the math that gets played out. So
I don't know that it's,
Deloitte.com.
I don't think it's a popular opinion. Look, businesses are there to make money, not save the earth. There are businesses that are there to save the earth.
Cost of living ranking 2024 by Mercer. Hong Kong, Singapore, and Zurich are currently the costliest city for international workers. That's at Mercer.com. You can go and take a look at their talent mobility. And so global, how will the costliest city impact garnering talent from those areas? So if you live in Zurich, how does that impact your ability to get a job globally? Because you live in an expensive city. So it's, again, kind of that question, age-old question of how do you reconcile pay equity issues based on where people live? So something to think about. Go take a look at the full study at Mercer.com. It's a good study. And now we're on to funding, Ryan. Dollar sign.
Oh, yes. Funding. There's actually a good amount of money. I didn't see too much in HR tech, but we can tie it back. So AIM Security closes $18 million in a Series A just 4 months out of stealth. So this is obviously a security company around AI. Essentially allows companies to use GenAI or enables companies to use GenAI in a safe, responsible manner. When you tie this back into talent organizations, so this is going to allow talent leaders and security and et cetera, to understand really where all Gen AI apps are enabled across the enterprise, which could be like, I'm just putting something on because I want to put something in there.
Right.
The company will now be able to tell whether I put it in, the company put it in, is it approved, how is it being used, why is it being used, what am I doing with it, what's good, what's bad. They can turn it off, they can do whatever they need to do. But it allows them to see really what applications can store and learn your data, important, and understand what data is connected to which LLM, which is important as
now you
well.
can track back to the where.
You track back to the where. And there's obviously a lot of security and all this stuff, right? That's the main purpose of this. But 18 million, congrats to them. We'll see a lot more of them. Israeli-based company.
Showed Me raises $3 million for expansion and costs. Cutting-edge training solutions. This is at moneyleads.co. What I like about this particular training kind of solution is they link training and engagement. So they got $3 million. Showed Me. And you can take a look at the moneyleads.com so you can read the story yourself. Ding.
That's fancy.
Nomad Health, a provider of travel nurses and allied healthcare professionals, raised $22 million. So this is actually found on staffingindustry.com. And so it's a job board that's focused on a scarcity-based market, nurses, traveling nurses, etc. I think it's a proposition that can't lose. This is, in my opinion, this is an example of smart money. So
yeah. And anything in that area
100%.
is not bad. All right, I'm going to mispronounce this. Maybe Kadana.
Yeah, you got
I said it right. All right. Well, they just pulled in 7.4, so I apologize if I got your name wrong. For compliant payroll services in emerging markets. And this was the key for me. I think talent in emerging markets is incredibly strong, much stronger than you'll find locally. Actually, we've had some conversations just this week around that. But paying these people is not easy. There are governance laws, rules, taxes, all this other stuff you need to be aware of and be able to do. Some companies, you can't just go into countries and pay people. You've got to be set up, and it takes time. So I think this is going to help that process.
Yeah, I read this. I read the same story, and it's getting employees paid in hard to get paid places.
Yeah,
opens up the global talent market. So there's more global payroll providers. But what I like about their particular focus is the emerging markets. Emerging.
Yeah. Emerging markets is key.
Yeah. Well played. Stitch PEO, a software company focused on human resources for independent medical practices, launched with an almost $9 million in seed funding. This is at modernhealthcare.com. So you can go read a little bit more. So this is a PEO. It's a focused PEO on a very specific market. And historically with PEOs, the more focused you are, the crazier the exit. So they're focused on a very specific for independent medical practices. I think they're going to do really, really well. I think it's just well positioned and good for them. Learn to Win, provider of personalized, predictive, and secure enterprise training software, raised an oversubscribed $30 million Series A. So this is at learntowin.com, the company's name, .com. So $30 million Series A. So let that settle.
Not small.
No, it's historically high.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
It's bloated.
And turns out skills training is important. like $30 million important. So good for them. I like how they're focused. I like the money, and good for them for getting it oversubscribed. Not easy. Last funding news that we have: Storybox raised 5.5 million euros in a Series A. This is video creation for employee communications. So this is the SaaSnews.com. This is where I found the story. So you can read a little bit more about it. What I like about it is now comms has a new, probably more effective way to communicate with employees. Video. Think TikTok for internal communication. So now they can create videos about whatever they're trying to communicate, and you can just scroll through it rather than going to the internet and reading the policy or some shit. So I like it. I like first of all, I like the play, and I think that market, the employees communication, internal communication folks, I think they're going to love it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad TikTok didn't get into this itself. Like Facebook has tried to do Facebook at work and this and that and all this. I'm glad they just stay their lane, right? Let the people play, let them enjoy, do what you do, and that's who you are. I'm glad this is coming from someone else, but I do agree. I love this idea, and I think it's going to go. If I was an employee at a company, this would be the way to get me. 100%. We're done.
We barfed.
We are done. So thank you all for listening. We have some stuff for Cornerstone coming out. So you guys will take a listen to that as it comes out. Subscribe, like us everywhere. And if you see us out there this summer,
holla.
Maybe say hello. All right. Until next time.